The Belt and Road Initiative is Chinese President Xi Jinping's flagship foreign policy project. It aims to place China at the heart of global economics and politics, connecting it to markets around the world. This, of course, is of strategic significance for Beijing, since it allows it to pursue broader geopolitical goals. Since its launch in 2013, around 138 countries have signed up as BRI partner states. As of January this year, there were around 2,951 BRI-linked projects valued at $3.87 trillion that were either planned or were underway across the world. These include roadways, railways, energy and port projects. The COVID-19 pandemic, however, threw a spanner in Beijing's works in more ways than one. Lockdowns around the world meant that most projects had to be halted. In late June, the Chinese Foreign Ministry informed that nearly 20% of BRI projects had been seriously affected because of the pandemic. Another 40% had been adversely affected, while the remaining had been somewhat affected. China's own economic slowdown had already hit BRI funding. Now with the pandemic, Beijing is likely to be even more careful with investments, particularly when it comes to economically unviable projects abroad. At the same time, COVID-19 has hit many developing countries hard. A large number of key BRI partner states are expected to experience negative growth this year. This will cause debt-related challenges for Beijing, but it also presents an opportunity for Chinese investors who can pick up good assets at low valuations. Politically, weakness in partner states can also be beneficial for China. It means that the Chinese leadership can expand its influence and goodwill at a lower cost. Playing savior, as the Rhodium Group's report on BRI argued, will come cheaper for Beijing. Finally, the pandemic has also contributed to tensions intensifying between the US and China. Both sides have sparred over the origins of the virus, China's actions to contain its spread, and Beijing's influence in the WHO. China's aggressive military actions in its neighborhood, such as the ongoing border standoff with India, assertion in the South China Sea, and the erosion of freedoms in Hong Kong have also worsened ties with key global powers. All of these are likely to amplify threats for BRI. So what's China done to adapt to all of this? Well, the Chinese leadership is emphasizing its focus on high-quality BRI development, suggesting that it is open to more private sector and third-party participation. Beijing has also pivoted to focus more on the digital Silk Road by expanding investments in 5G infrastructure and surveillance technologies. In addition, the Chinese leadership has leveraged its success in containing the COVID-19 outbreak at home into a successful economic and diplomatic opportunity. China has focused on the export of medical supplies, testing kits, dispatched aid teams, and so on. Importantly, it has hinted that BRI partner states could be a priority when it comes to vaccine distribution. This could entail more Chinese loans to these states, which then can be funneled to purchase Chinese vaccines. On the debt issue, in June 2020, Beijing did agree to delay repayments for low-income countries as part of a broader G20 debt relief program. But that's a small amount. Other negotiations on debt are being done on a bilateral basis. In some cases, there have been reports of Beijing using the leverage that debt has provided for political purposes and to expand control over assets. For instance, the joint statement issued after the China-Africa Summit in June 2020 saw African states explicitly supporting the imposition of the new national security law in Hong Kong. Reports also inform of the ownership of Zambian mining assets being discussed amid debt cancellation talks with Chinese lenders. So what's the outlook for BRI going ahead? Our researchers argue that the initiative will encounter significant hurdles. First, project resumption will be a challenge, but should ease as vaccinations are carried out around the world. Beijing will also prioritize BRI partner states for vaccine distribution and will likely extend loans for this. The Chinese leadership will no longer be as profligate as it was with BRI investments in the past. Strategic investments like those in Pakistan, however, will be prioritized. Lastly, even political change in the US is unlikely to ease Sino-US competition significantly. This implies that geopolitical and technology risks for BRI will remain high in the near future. For a deep dive into the different scenarios that could play out for Beijing, read this research document on our website. To watch more such videos, subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon.